Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Hi. Welcome to Touched by Angel Live. I'm your host, Angel Kinseys. My passion is to inspire seniors, bring solutions to their everyday needs, and bring the generations together. Enjoy the show.
If you're interested in joining Angel Kinsey's online Zumba class, Strength and Balance, or Zumba Gold, contact Angel at angelkinseys@gmail.com or call 954-224-0886.
Then you know it's working. Remember, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it.
Enjoy the show.
Good evening. Welcome to the show again tonight. We're going to be discussing a very important topic that's not just for seniors. As you know, if you've tuned in before, or maybe you're new, maybe you're on the radio, or you're live streaming, my show usually deals with senior issues. Tonight, it's not just going to be about senior issues. It's basically going to educate you in every level for any person, any age. It's for teenagers, middle-aged, people that are in crisis, suicide, drugs. For seniors, it could be for caregivers, it could be any kind of needs that you may have. It doesn't have to be low income, it could be anyone in a crisis. And so I have a special guest. He is the Chief Operating Officer at 211 Broward. Now, don't let that throw you off, because the 211 is also a national number that they can refer you to people all over the country. And I want to welcome tonight Francisco Isaza. Welcome, Francisco. Thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me here. I appreciate that.
Yes, I'm very excited about this topic, because I just learned tonight that it's not just for the seniors, it's for anyone in crisis. If you're a young person, middle age, older, whatever it is, that's what this 211 number is for. How long has it been in effect, the 211?
211 Broward's been here in Broward for over 25 years.
Okay, so it's been a long time, and I guess a lot of people don't know about it, because I've been talking about it for the last month, and a lot of people don't know. So I'm glad. I hope this gets out there. Share the program, because you could share it and call people. I would suggest you have a pen and paper, because he's going to be giving a lot of good information. So I'd like to know, first of all, if you want to talk about what it is and what are the top 5 needs, or if there's more, whatever you are getting calls in now, not just for seniors, but for anyone. What are the top needs that you've noticed?
Sure. So I could talk to you about the 211 number, because like you said, many people don't know about the number, right? Mm-hmm. Almost everyone knows when to dial 911.
Right.
But not everyone knows when to dial 211. So 211 is a national number. You could dial that number. It's easy to remember. It's easy to use. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The purpose of 211 is to make sure that you have access to all your local community resources, no matter where you are within this nation. So when you dial 211 from your phone, you're going to be routed to your local 211 center.
Oh.
And when you call that number, basically, like you said, it's for everyone. It's with somebody that has insurance, no insurance, someone over the age of 60. For teens, it's someone with mental health conditions. It might be someone that has a disability. It's for professionals. It's for anyone that needs information about community resources. So anytime you have a question, 211 is there to provide you the answers. So give you an example. People call every day asking for help with, how can I put food on my table? How can I get home health care? Where can I get assistance with transportation? I'm struggling with COVID and I lost my job. Can you help me find a place that would help me pay my rent? I'm struggling to pay my bills. What places are there to help me? No matter what question you have, we're there to provide you the answers to those local resources that could help you. We're 100% covered in the state of Florida. So no matter where you're dialing within Florida, if you dial 211, you'll get routed to your local center.
Great. Now, when they call the 211, are they questioned about not just what their needs are, and then you send them to the program? Are they actually being screened through the 211, or the 211 is just sending them to the right program, and then that program is going to do the screening, the necessary screening that they need?
That's a really good question. One, we're a confidential, anonymous helpline when you call. So when you call us, you're going to feel like it's a safe place. Also, when you call us, we're not just giving you the number, because then we might give you a number to the wrong place. I really want to talk with you to find out your story, find out what your needs are, so then I could provide you the most comprehensive information about what places you could connect with to, help you resolve that issue. Often when people don't know where to call, often what happens, they're calling somewhere and that place is saying, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
This is the wrong number. We're out of funds.
Yeah.
You become so frustrated, you want to give up. What 211 is here to do is to connect you to that right place that you could call where they say, hey, let me screen you, let me find out if you're eligible. But 211 is there to link you to the services in our community that can help you.
But the programs that you link to are not necessarily for low income. It could be anyone in any kind of a crisis.
That was what makes 211 so dynamic. So when we refer you to a community resource, we're asking you some questions that help us determine if that's the appropriate resource. We'll ask you what your age is, for example, just to make sure if there's any age criteria. We'll ask you about, if you're concerned about income, we'll ask you about that to make sure we're referring you to the right place. We'll tell you about their eligibility process and their application process, so you don't get frustrated about getting that wrong number.
Right. Now, if someone is, let's say, not able to really know how to navigate on the phone, is there an agent on the phone that really could go further with them and help them to provide the information that they need, like to guide them on the phone when they're on so that they're not by themselves? Because I know, a lot of my seniors who I teach, a lot of them don't have a computer. They don't know how to use it. So is it easy for them to get through?
What you're telling me is you want to know about the heart of 211, and that's the person answering the phones. That's our helpline counselors. They're champions for our community, right? They're there to be caring, not judgmental. If they're talking with you and they see that maybe you need that additional support, that additional advocacy while they're talking with you, sometimes they'll make that call with you to the organization just to make sure that you get linked with that organization. So they're your advocates when you're calling.
That's great. Now, while you're tuning in, if you want to call the studio, you could dial 888-994-4995. If you have a need or you have any questions that you want to ask while we're live, you're welcome to call. So could you talk about maybe just some of the programs that they offer?
Sure. So 211 Broward, we're a non-for-profit, we're independent of other 211. We have various programs that are here to support our community. For example, we have a program called Touchline. That's for older adults over the age of 60 that live alone in Broward. We call them on a daily basis to check on your safety. We call you and say, how are you doing today? I'm concerned about yesterday. You told me you weren't feeling well. Did you take your medications today?
Wow.
And sometimes that's the only live voice we hear.
Yeah.
Our Touchline clients tell us we become your friends and family. And that's a free service.
Wow. That's really needed right now, especially so many people are isolated with COVID and everything, and they're not going out. A lot of them are afraid to go out. So that's really nice to be able to know that they could just talk to somebody, because most of the time they just want to be able to have somebody listen to them.
Right, and that's really an important thing that we do, is offering that listening ear, that emotional support that people need. Like you said, trying to make sure you don't feel alone. Make sure that you feel supported by your community. That's what 211 is here for.
Yeah. Now, when they call, Is it easy to get through?
Right? You know, 211 is always trying to make sure that we're easily accessible in all the ways that you want us to be, right? So you could call us, you could text us, you could chat with us, you could email us. Remember, we're here 24/7. So maybe you call during a time that, you know, the lines might have been busier than usual. You could call at a later time. Most 211s like ourselves, we have virtual hold, so that experience doesn't feel long. You know, we'll call you back and you won't lose your place. So it really makes it easy to contact 211.
Yeah. So I would suggest the way you have 911 in your phone, I know I have it as an emergency number if I need it, as a speed dial. I would suggest that you put 211 into your phone and leave it as just, you know, you press a number like you'd be 911. I think that's a great way to do it. Whether you're at home, put it in your phone, or if you have your cell phone, I would put it in as a number so you don't forget it.
Yeah, that's really important because you want to know when the place to call first when you need help. And you know, 911 is there for life-threatening emergencies. 211 is here for anytime you need help with community resources. We're also a crisis helpline, like you mentioned. So if you feel so alone and maybe so hopeless that you're thinking about suicide, we're here to support you. We want to make sure you know we'll be here for you to help you find some hope and to keep you safe. So 211 is a number you should have in your phones for sure.
That's great. So how do they get their funding for the program? Is it through the government? Is it grants? Is it private?
211 has different funding sources. So we do get funding from the state of Florida. We have some of our major funders are the United Way of Broward County, Children's Services Council. So local government also provides support to 211. And then we have the community supporting us, you know, private donors. That's how 211 is funded.
Now, what if somebody, because you mentioned about like insurance, for instance, what if somebody has a company that they want to be involved in so that you could refer to them? Is that a possibility?
Anytime you want 211 to be a referral source, the best thing that you could do is reach out to us. We'll send you our application to be a provider that we refer to, and the application will talk about the eligibility criteria. Most often we're trying to put in nonprofit organizations within our database, but there are many times where there's some exceptions about organizations that need to be within our database.
Sure, so you're always looking for new business and new ideas. So if you have a business or maybe you have a desire to help and you want to call there and fill out an application, I think that's a great idea. I'm sure there's people out there that would love to get involved. So we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back and we'll finish our discussion with Francisco from 211 Broward. Stay tuned. My sponsor, Michelle Amron, she is an independent insurance agent, and she helps seniors with their Social Security and Medicare. And she really gives personalized individual help all year round. Personally, she's my agent. I've had her for a few years and she has been amazing. The difference with Michelle is that she's not there trying to sell you insurance. She's not trying to push you to a certain company. She's really there to listen to you, hear what your needs are, and refer you to the best place. She helps also in the process to receive benefits for fixed or low income. So she's there for you. She will call you even throughout the year just to check up on you, see how you're doing, see if you maybe need to change your insurance or keep it the same. Now remember, October 7th is the deadline, so if you've been on the same insurance and you're not sure if you need a different insurance, maybe your health has changed and you need maybe different doctors or whatever, Michelle is the person to call. And her phone number is 561-308-0293. That's Michelle Amron, independent insurance agent. Again, 561-308-0293, and tell her that Angel sent you. Thank you. We're back now. So, you know, the time goes so fast when we're talking about these programs. There's so much to offer. And I'm really excited about this because I know that there's a lot of needs. I have phone calls all the time. As you know, that I teach seniors. I'm an instructor on Zoom. And soon we're going to have Zoom in one of the communities in Delray that I used to teach at live, and they actually are going to put me on the big screen and have my Zoom classes on there. So I'm really excited about it because some of the seniors want to go to the community center. They don't have computers and they don't know how to get on my Zoom class because I do 6 classes a week. And if they don't have a computer, now they could go to the community center at High Point up in Delray beginning next month, and I'm really excited to have them back into my class again. So we're going to go back to Francisco from 211 Broward, and we wanted to talk a little bit about, there's another number that you mentioned to me, the 988. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's our new nationwide number that started on July 16th. So like you could dial 911 and 211, you could also now dial 988 from your phones. 988 is a crisis response line for somebody in crisis that needs support with mental health, substance use, or suicide. That's also a nationwide number where you could dial 988 to get crisis response for anyone that might be concerned about a loved one, or for you yourself if you feel like you're experiencing a crisis.
So if you know someone, that would be the number to call. Even though you said 211 deals with the suicide and substance abuse, the 988 would be more of a direct line specifically for mental, suicide, and substance abuse.
What it is that the nation wanted to make sure that we had 3-digit numbers that are easy to remember. So they wanted 211 to be the number for you to get access to information and resources within your local community. Now, 211 Broward is a crisis center as well. Not all 211s are crisis centers.
I see.
The majority of 211s are there to offer you resources to your local community. Now, our 988 number is meant to be a crisis response number dedicated to those that might be experiencing crisis with mental health, substance use, or suicide. So when you dial 988, you'll get routed to your local center. And what happens in Broward, when someone dials 988, they'll reach us because we're the local 988 provider.
Oh. And that's also nationwide?
Nationwide, available 24/7, and it's a free, confidential, and anonymous service for anyone. And when we think about older adults, I think it's really important to mention one of the highest rates of deaths for our seniors is those that complete a suicide. We want to make sure that our older adults know that 988 is available to them anytime they need someone to talk to.
Great. It's interesting. Very good. And so if there's anything else that you think that we haven't covered, and we have a few minutes here that we could just go over that, anything else that you want to add to the 211 number? Or
what I would like to say, because I'm having an opportunity to talk to our community today with you.
Yeah, just let them know.
I would like to tell you it's okay not to be okay. Know if you need that support and you need answers, you need questions, if you have questions about community resources, please dial 211 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Take the time to check up on someone today. Call a friend, call a loved one, and just ask them if they're okay. Educate them about the 211 service, because many people in our community simply do not know about 211, and you could potentially save a life today by telling them everything that you learned here on today's show, which was really important. I thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. That's really amazing that we have something like that. I mean, it's wonderful that you could just dial a 3-digit number like 911 and get help in any area, and it really is needed right now. So I feel honored and privileged to be able to bring this to you, and I really hope you take advantage of it. Like he said, if you know someone, please reach out and either call the number and get them help or talk to them about it. if you may be a caregiver, maybe you're taking care of somebody, maybe you're taking care of your mom. And I know a few people right now in the hospital, you know, in crisis. So if you're a caregiver, you're a child of a parent that's sick, and you really feel like you don't know where to turn, maybe you're visiting from somewhere. I have a family right now that I'm dealing with, that they come from another state and they're here visiting their mom in the hospital. And I'm sure it must be very frustrating for them to know that they have to leave and their parents all alone here. So please take this down. You have the means of sharing this show. This show will repeat, okay? So it's on all the time. You can re-watch it again, and you could also share it with anybody that you like. So if you go on to my Touched by Angel Live, you could see every show back to January, and then just call somebody up and say, listen to this show. So I hope you take advantage of the 211 number, again, for young people, for seniors, for caregivers, anyone with a need, food, clothing, help, just somebody to talk to. Maybe you're alone, you're lonely, whatever it is, reach out to someone, help someone. Be the light in this world. Now, I want you to know that we'll be back in 2 weeks on my next show, which will be on a Thursday night on September 22nd. So stay tuned, because it's going to be a surprise who's going to be on in 2 more weeks, but I guarantee you it's going to be worth tuning in. So thank you tonight again for watching the show, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you for watching Touched by Angel Live. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with someone you love. Have a wonderful day.